Buenos Dias Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a motherfucking smack addict. Buy up, buy up, buy up. In the Menudo style in direct fashion, we're going to get straight into it. But before we do, let's hit the like and subscribe button. Ding. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content I'm kicking. And I highly appreciate all the support, man. We're going up on this channel and it's all because of you. And for that, I can say I'm very humbled, but I'm even more so appreciative. So thank you. I couldn't do it without you. So let's talk criminal, right? Family, faith, religion, lies, right? Turmoil, anguish, sorry, licking lips, right? Since he says that's what I say about him all the time. You know, I went to TikTok the other day, chilling. I was on the phone with the homeboy and we just decided to go on TikTok and we trip out on the lives, you know, see who's all on live and what's going on. And I went on a live and it happened to be Mr. Criminals. And I went in there with respect. You know, I didn't go in there to woof. I don't do that, man. I'm not trolling people, trying to woof on them. I just went in there and he spotted me. Well, first and foremost, he spotted the homie. And he was praising the homie. Hey, man, you're righteous and you educate me. I watch you on YouTube and this, and that. And then when I went in there, he was like, oh, this motherfucker, right? And he got his Michael Blackson on with me, right? And he was like, what are you doing in here, right? First and foremost, I'm in there, and I said, I'm in here to show respect, man, and just chill, you know? And he went into, I thought you didn't like me, you go in on me, and I said, well, let's rewind that whole, pump your brakes, Stay Puft Marshmallow guy, the skinny version. You're throwing out there propaganda. Like, I've only, you know, reciprocated the respect that I got, which was none, so I basically told you the way it was, that I don't know you. And this, that, and he wasn't trying to hear it. He said, now you say I lick my lips. And I said, well, you do, don't you? And I don't think he liked that. So he was like, block this motherfucker. He told his moderators, cool, that's fine, right? I went in there in the name of Allah, in the name of Jesus. But I guess he's just faking the funk, I guess, right? Whatever. So he kicked me up out of there. That's fine. But before I left, I was able to facilitate one more message. And the message I said, you're all mad at me like I'm the one dropping the paperwork I have on you, right? And about a week prior to all that, all the shit was going on with Mr. Criminal. They were calling him Pastor Silver Lake. And was he turning to religion to try to hide something? And then just about that time, that's when, you know, the diss song came out by Diablo from Banning, right? A Southsider, alleged Southsider that's incarcerated, doing life on a murder case, right? And if you don't know his case, I'm sure you could look it up. But there was a lot of people with a lot of skepticism saying that, you know, why did Diablo wait so long to drop this diss song where he was saying that Criminal was a snitch, that Criminal had basically put him in a bad situation. Now, ultimately, when you're locked up, you do a murder, you catch a case, anything, you're the guilty one. Now, whether people participate in telling on you and pointing fingers in your direction or smutting you up, you know, I can see how you could feel some type of way, but at the same time, you always have to understand, come to an understanding within yourself that you're the one that got yourself locked up. Hey, you did the crime, now you got to do the time. Now, usually the people that are closest to you that you think have your back, your camaradas, your homeboys, those are going to be the ones that tell on you because when faced with adversity, not many can prevail. Okay, not many want to go through your bullshit. They don't want your bullshit to become their bullshit. And you'll notice that in life. For those of you that are not gamed up and haven't got the knowledge you get in college, you'll have your time. You'll understand that homeboy, that road doggy dog that you're willing to die for and knock tortas with and do all this with is the same homeboy that wants to bone your old lady when you're locked up, won't send you a penny on your books, and will make a statement quick. It's just the way it is. And you have to come to an understanding that that's part of the game. That's part of life. You chalk it up and keep on pushing and pressing. Now, there are those that feel some type of way about it, and they're going to rock an agenda. It's going to marinate on their mind, right? And I guess it's been marinating on Diablo's mind. Now, I'm not going to tell you guys the back behind the scenes shit that happens when it comes to individuals like Criminal and who they might or might not be associated with. And the reason why they smile and lick their lips in people's faces because some people can pay what they weigh. Some people put themselves in a position where, yeah, they might have smut, but because they're doing lucrative things, making lucrative transactions and having money, they're able to facilitate some type of correspondence between who they have to, and they can chill, right? For whatever reason. I'm not saying that's the case with him. I'm just saying it happens. Now, with Criminal, he obviously felt comfortable enough to make a podcast and start disrespecting people and giving his opinion on people. And there was a point in time where he even disrespected myself, and I didn't even know who he was. He basically got played out of pocket. You know, he let a troll clone my channel, go on there and disrespect them, and he decided, for no other reason, to mention me. And whether it was for clout reasons or whether it was for just straight up hatred of the North or hatred of a non-active member, whatever it was, he did his thing, and I retaliated back by saying, bro, I don't even know you. You know, which was the truth. I didn't. I knew of his music, but personally as a man, I don't. So I still can't go in on him as a man and disrespect him. Now, when I did my last spill that his name was mentioned in, I was telling people, stop jumping the gun. Stop, you know, accusing this man of being a rat or anything like that without paperwork. You know, that's just not what you do. And even so with paperwork, you have to really comb through it. And you see what's going on with G-Face. Now that there is paperwork. He's in trouble. But he's not the only one. So when that was mentioned on TikTok, and I told him that from a place of, I had the paperwork sitting in my phone. Now the paperwork was sent to me, or some paperwork. I'm not going to say the paperwork, but paperwork was sent to me a couple weeks prior to me going on his TikTok and whatever, seeing what was going on in there. So I already had read through it and understood that this guy was fronting, right? Now again, I'm not going to show you guys the paperwork. Paperwork's already been dropped. And me and my homeboy, we got to talking, and we were not going to be the ones to drop paperwork, especially me. See, in my history of dropping paperwork, it just ain't good, right? So I wasn't going to do it. It was not my place. It was Southern business. I figured it would come out eventually. And when it did, man, I would see how it all worked out. And then I would tell you guys righteously and real that, yeah, I've been sitting on that. Okay. So the whole time people were advocating for this guy, well, there's no paperwork, you can't be talking about him, not to myself, but to other people, other channels. I was sitting there smiling like the Grinch who stole everything, because I realized that I had already read it. It had already been sent to me. And it's very tricky. It's not a good look at all, right? Now, did this guy testify against Diablo? Did he go on the stand? No. I'll tell you that first and foremost. He did not. Did he make a statement and basically try to cover his tracks and throw Diablo under the bus? Absolutely. Absolutely, right? Now, as far as, is that really him on the paperwork? Is it real paperwork? It looks to be. Other people are saying it is. I mean, that's why I'm not throwing it out there and displaying it, because I don't know, to be honest with you. I do not know, okay, if the paperwork is real or if it's fake. You can't trust anything you read nowadays. You know, half of what you see, and probably even more so, a little bit more what you read. You know, but I can tell you, you know, one of the statements that stood out to me was, you know, when asked why his house was being raided, because basically the roundabout way of the paperwork is cops went and questioned him at his home. I guess they arrested Diablo a couple days after, and the last place that he was at was Criminal's residence. And Criminal was under the assumption, I guess, when they were interrogating him or talking to him, that because he was harboring a fugitive at the time, maybe he would be liable for that, aiding and abetting or harboring a fugitive. And I guess he didn't want the probation that goes with that, or, you know, the 28 days in the county. Whatever the case may be, maybe he had a tour at their local fair that day. So he decided, you know, to play the dumb role, to play the stupid role, and to pretty much just make a statement. Now, at that point in time, he could have chose to say, you know, I don't know nothing. It is what it is. Charge me what you're going to charge me with and keep it pushing, man. I got music to make, right? But he decided to be an open book and to confide in the detectives. Right now, we all know that when they say anything you say will be used against you in a court of law, that's what it means. They tell you right there, if you're a baboso, if you don't understand, you know, if you don't understand the English language, then go do the handali la la la. Because at the end of the day, he decided to make some statements. And one of the things he did say, which, you know, you can misconstrue it, or what that paperwork says. I'm not saying him. Okay, let's not get that twisted. But what the paperwork says is that he, an individual known as Mr. Robert Garcia, which I believe is criminal, did take the initiative to say that he didn't know anything about the murder investigation, but that Diablo was bragging to him about a murder that had occurred a couple of days prior to him being there, but he thought he was just playing. So basically he's saying, yeah, he admitted to me about the murder, right? And now they had arrested Diablo, and so they were charging him with that. And then another thing he said was that he allowed Diablo to stay at his residence, but at the end of the day, Diablo left, and the detective asked him, well, why didn't you, if you knew that this was going on and he was being sought after, why didn't you tell him to go? And he said that he was scared of what Diablo might do to him if he told him he had to leave. Okay, so that right there is not telling. That's just basically smutting him up. And whatever the case may be. Now, again, is this paperwork real or fake? Well, subsequently, someone has dropped it. It's out there now. And I know it would be eventually. And I've seen Criminal get back into his comfort zone. And again, man, I know what anxiety is. I know what how it makes the pit of your stomach feel when everyone's going against you and people are talking shit about you. I've been through that many times. It's a roller coaster ride, especially when you present yourself on social media and you expect everyone to just be your friend. And it's all good when everyone's sending you super chats and they're your friends and they're following you on your lives and praising you on how good your music is and how much of a real one you are, right? But when you have skeletons in your closet and smut, best believe it's going to come out. And how you handle it from that point forward is totally up to you. Because see, in the game that we're in, social media, there's always going to be people that play the street game and they let it interconnect, right? And they're like, fuck that. He's got nothing coming. I used to have trust and love for this guy, but because he did this or did that, he didn't follow the street code, the moral street code, the G code. I can't fuck with him no more. And they righteously could do that. That's cool. You know, some people ain't playing like that. And then there are those that were like, hey, man, he didn't tell on me. I ain't tripping. It is what it is, man. I'm going to fuck with him still, right? That's cool, too, to each their own, you know. But when things arise and you stick to your guns and you are transparent and you apologize for mistakes you've made in the past, nobody's perfect, and you keep it pushing and you humble yourself, it's a humbling experience. So you have to exert that type of energy to get back good energy. Let people know. You don't go find religion all of a sudden, change your whole get down, but slowly but surely leak back into them ways. Because you see, a true believer, someone who really has faith and finds religion and cares about their family and cares about, you know, themselves as far as being a more productive member of society and being a better person, what they're going to do is they're going to humble themselves and act accordingly. Okay, when you leak back into your old narcissistic ways, your my shit don't stink ways, then guess what happens? Your shit starts to begin to stink to those that thought you were a humble person. And so now you're just in a pala caca. When it comes to Criminal, I don't know this man personally. Never have met him and probably never will. I don't have animosity. I don't want to fight him. I'm not trying to discourage people not to support him or listen to his music. I'm just saying when I go on to his live or anything, you know, and it goes immediately to disrespect from him, I'm sitting there with his life in my hands, basically, with his career in my hands, and I could have shit on him, but I decided not to. And the reason why is it's none of my business, first and foremost. And secondly, man, what kind of man would I be doing that? I've done that before and it didn't work out for me. And I humbly apologized because I deserved everything I got out of that situation. So I was like, I'm not going to make the second mistake of releasing some fucking fake paperwork that I'm not even sure is real, right? That was shot to me. But at the end of the day, man, now other people have subsequently dropped the paperwork and it all connects the dots, connect four. So when it comes to Criminal, I have a message for him. Shoot your line, Criminal. I got a one time for you. No, don't talk to the one time. Look, here's my message to him. Humble yourself, ese. You know, be yourself and think about your priorities rather than the man you want everyone to perceive you as, because you're not that. You're not him, just like I'm not him. There's a lot of people that fake front and just think because they're a gangster rapper that they're a gangster. But you're just a gangster rapper. You're not a gangster. You showed your true colors when it came time to take that probation for your homeboy. You know, because ultimately, let's look at it. Let's break it down. Say if this paperwork really is Criminal. Okay, if this really is the papeles on him. It wasn't like he was looking at fucking being charged for the murder as well or some crazy ass time. The most he would have got is some probation. Harboring, aiding, and abetting a fugitive. Let me tell you a little story. So I had a homeboy. My homeboy was on the run. He was on the front page of the paper. They were trying to get his ass, right? And he was non-active at that time. And I was active. So I was in the wrong for running with him, but he was like a brother to me, still is. And you know, here, you guys want to hear the cold twist on it? He bought back in. He's now active, and I'm not. Fucking ain't the difference what the day makes, right? So he almost got killed in county jail behind fucking communicating with his ass, and now he's solid, and now he'll get killed for communicating with me. And we still communicate, right? It's crazy. So anyways, look, he was on the run, front page of the newspaper. Everyone was looking for him. Hottest topic. He was trending in town, right? And this is years ago. And me and him are running amok. We're out there running and gunning. He's on the run. So you know when you go on the run, you just do whatever you do, right? Me, myself, this is my homeboy, my camarada, my taita, the fucking, my brother, right? I grew up with his family. We're riding till the wheels fall off. We get caught up, we'll figure it out after. If I lose my career over the homeboy, well, I could righteously say I lost it over a real one. So we're at the homegirl's house hiding out. She's on vacation. I got the keys to her pad, so we're posted up there. The next door neighbors, some homies, right? They don't like him because they know he's non-active, but they're not going to approach him in a vicious manner because he's a knockout artist, right? So they're definitely not going to do any of that. So what do? Let me explain to you what they do. They drop a kite, basically. They call the cops, or the dude has his old lady call the cops. We find out through paperwork later. And they send the task to the house. Now, I'm asleep in one room, crashed out. My homeboy got a fake wig on. He'd been running around with a fake long wig trying to play the game off, right? They hit, task hits. Get down! I could hear him. I'm like, damn, they come in with the straps and, you know, they're fully shielded up and all that. And get down. So I'm like, shit, it's too early for this shit. I remember telling them that. They handcuffed me. They handcuffed the homies. They're taking pictures of him with the wig. He was on the front page of the newspaper with a wig. The homies are like, damn, is he fucking transitioning? And I said, I don't know what he's doing. But anyways, he gets locked up. The gang task comes. They're interviewing. They're like, hey, what's up? I don't know. They're like, hey, what are you doing, man? I said, man, this ain't my house. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm just here, right? Again, it wasn't my home. I wasn't throwing the homegirl under the bus. I was just saying, how am I aiding and abetting and harboring a fugitive? I didn't know who was here. I'm asleep in the room. The homie got caught up in the living room. I don't know, right? I said, I don't know, man. So because I'm talking shit, this young rookie cop's getting in my face, and I'm telling the gang task, man, let this motherfucker know who I am, bro. I ain't trying to play his game. He gets mad, so he arrests me for aiding and abetting and false information and whatever, right? So I go to the county, active block with the homeboys. The homie that I was with, he goes to the non-active side, which at that time was Sandy Mush. They were sending all non-actives over there in the pods, right? And I went to the fucking block, 3 block at that time, active Norteño block. And the homeboys like, what happened? So I run them down. I could already see them. Their eyes are shifting. I'm like, damn, right? They're already talking because I was with the non-active, right? But at the end of the day, most of the guys in the county are from my hood, so I'm going to get selective politicking. I'm going to get homie favoritism. And that's the way it worked out. But we are going to court together, and ultimately I'm there for like 3 or 4 days. They drop my case. The district attorney says, we're not going to even try this case. It's not that serious. And the homeboy takes his time. He takes his violation. He goes back to prison. But at the same time, he's trying to talk to me and communicate with me. I'm trying to play it off like I don't hear him. And I'm acting like he's talking to a paisa, and the homeboys get back, hey, we're here, you're facilitating communication with non-actives. I'm like, you heard wrong. And the homies from my hood know, hey, you were talking to the homeboy, what'd he say, bro, right? And it's crazy behind the scenes. Like, people would talk all that high-powered gang shit, and best believe they're sitting at a table right now sharing their last tortilla with the non-active gang member. It's just the way it is. It's probably their carnal. So anyways, with that being said, you know, I understand situations. I understand what it is, man. For people to be looked at in a certain fashion. Now, when it comes to a criminal, okay, as far as dicking them up with bad paperwork and all that, that's not what I intend to do. That's why I'm not displaying the paperwork. I'll let someone else show you guys. I just know what I read, and if that truly was him, then yes, he did do too much. He would have just got some probation and whatever. He didn't have to say what he said, but I guess when people are put in that type of situation, you know, you get scared. You get scared, man. I don't knock someone like, you know, people always say, oh, he told when he was young, or he might have said too much. You know, even in my situation, for those that don't know my situation, when I was in the youth authority, there was some paperwork that came out a while back. Hey, Gunner he told and he testified, and none never testified against no one, never did that. What I did say is, as the dude is walking out, he's fucking woofing, hey, we got you, that's right. I say, yeah, you did that, you got me, all right, that's cool. Basically, I'm gonna get you back, homie, don't trip, right? And that fucking counselor took that, what she heard, and said, oh, he confirmed that he got him. Well, I mean, we're woofing on each other, we're young kids talking shit. Call it what you want. Did I try to shy away from that and say, no, I didn't do that? No, I did. I just got overheard, and the counselor did what they did. So, but did I actually sit down there with the fucking cop and, oh, this is what happened? No, never. So, but that doesn't mean I'm any better than criminal or any better than anyone else, or that they're better than me. You know, criminal chose his path, And ultimately, if this paperwork is real or fake, I guess we'll decide. But nowadays, you don't know. You really don't know. Okay? And people are going to pick and choose who they want to ride on or ride with. And that's the fucked up situation in this life. You know, that's like me, for instance. And I'm not trying to play the victim role because I'm not that. I've never been that. I don't intend to ever be that, right? You know, it just is what it is. I don't live scared. I just live life. But I'll tell you right now, facts, homie, that, you know, I've humbled myself. I learned, you know, through mistakes, past mistakes. And I know that, you know, there's situations that you can't prevent and situations you can. You know, you have to be able to, you know, be real, be true, just be a man and learn from your mistakes. Don't go on TikTok and go on these different platforms and talk shit. You know, prior to all this shit going down, you know, Criminal had a podcast. He was bringing all these active rappers and active gang members on, and they were sitting there and clowning on people and talking shit about people and talking about prison hits and different things. And then all of a sudden, he found the Lord as soon as everyone found the paperwork. I'm just saying, and then to sit there on TikTok and other platforms and be like, there is no paperwork. You guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Well, there is, bro. Whether it's real or not, I don't know, but there's some paperwork floating around, and I've been sitting on it for a month, man. But of course, you know, it's not up to me to drop that. Other people have. So if you want to see it, you're going to have to go on a different channel because I'm not dropping paperwork on people on my channel anymore, man. I learned my lessons. See, I'm a real man. Doesn't mean I won't give you my 2 cents on it. Coming from me, for reals, do I think the paperwork is real or fake? It looks real as fuck to me, but I don't know. With that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. Let me know what you think. Do you think Criminal is just lying and he's trying to get away from things? You know, now I know Bozo has said things. I know a lot of people behind the scenes that have seen the paperwork are calling him a rat. They're calling him a lot of things, you know. People need to fucking watch out what they say because you never know when it's their day. I'm just saying, not saying that about Bozo. I've never seen anything or heard anything like that. I'm just saying anybody, you know, before you fucking throw rocks, make sure you don't live in a glass house. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I honestly and truly believe in, and that's the betterment of all people. As far as Criminal goes, man, I wish him nothing but the best in life. And I hope he continues to be productive and he humbles himself and decides and understands that he ain't too gangster like he thinks he is. And again, man, if people are out there putting out fake paperwork and it really ain't real, well, you don't do that. But I can tell you 1,000,000% the person I got this shit from, they're very well connected. The gun.